Hey, yo, watch this. This is the good part. Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, are they hypocrites? In this video, I'm going to break it down and tell you why I ask this very potent question. So, should be a good video. Let's jump right into it. Now, the great thing about boxing is if you pay attention. If you pay attention, you'll learn a lot. And I tell you guys all the time, the most dangerous thing is a camera, a microphone, and social media, Wi-Fi access. And people, whether they admit it directly or indirectly, will end up telling on themselves. Such is the case for Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. What am I referring to? Now, Diego Pacheco fought Steve Nelson, who's the homeboy of Terrence Crawford. So it goes without saying, Shakur, Keyshawn, they look up to Terrence Crawford. That's their homie. And it made a lot of sense for them to be there. Shakur actually signed a 2-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. So that's more incentive for him to have went to an Eddie Hearn card with Pacheco and Nelson. Your friends are going and you're signed to the same people that are putting on the event, right? Now, there were interviews done, which you can now find on YouTube, and Keyshawn Davis did an interview and they asked him about Andy Cruz, you know, the Olympian that beat him 4 times in the amateurs and prevented him from getting a gold medal. And Keyshawn Davis pretended that he didn't know who Andy Cruz was. He was like, who? You know, playing game. Now, mind you, Keyshawn has never been a champion. He has an opportunity to become one if he could beat Dennis Baranchenk, who Baranchenk is not like this world beater that's been around. We'll see what happens in the fight. But, you know, he beat Navarrete, who's not even a 135-pounder, and had to move back down. So that's his claim to fame. Nonetheless, you got Keyshawn, who's fronting on and trying to little boy Andy Cruz, who also fought on this card and looked good and has been looking sharp in his performances, and he's trained by Bozy Ennis. So I thought that was weird, and I have a video coming about that specifically, so subscribe to the channel. Now, to add insult to injury, Shakur Stevenson virtually did the same thing. I've already made a video about it. Tito Marcato signed to Eddie Hearn. He is a knockout artist. He has like 17 wins, 16 by way of knockout. He's the puncher. Doesn't have the greatest resume. They put him in with Jose Pedraza, but he got the right attitude because he's coming across like a bully. Like he said, I want to fight that punk right there. And he said, with the blue shirt, with the blue hoodie. And he pointed to Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur was ringside. He also, at the press conference, got at Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn. He was like, man, that's Keyshawn Camp. Bring him up here. Y'all come up here. I'll knock all y'all out. Blah, blah, blah. So he's talking wicked and spicy like that. And he said, Keyshawn got a glass chin. Shakur got no chin. Bring him up here. He also told Shakur to get in the ring, right? Get in the ring. If you're ringside, you know, it's a hop, skipping away from me. I just knocked out Pedraza. Hop in this ring. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Shakur got up and he was like, get off my D, get off my D, get off my D, use a B, get off my D. But he didn't get in the ring, right? You had a UK YouTube channel that had an interview exclusive with Shakur Stevenson, and they brought up this altercation, you know, rightfully so. You're a boxing reporter. It happened. It's news. Shakur's being called out. And you could look and listen to Shakur's demeanor. He sounded like perturbed and mad that the reporter brought up Tito Marcato as if he was a king and Tito Marcato was some kind of peasant and his name shouldn't be uttered in the same sentence. He was like, that guy's at 140. I don't know who the F that is. And like, he has like he's like, I don't know that ninja. I don't know that ninja. Who is that? I don't even know who he is. And he at 140. Like, what are we talking about? Why are you, like, basically, why are you bringing it up? And you hear the, like, almost like an attitude in Shakur Stevenson's voice that Tito Marcato, his name came up. Now, I know you guys want the best in the business, and it's not even close to connect all the dots for you. The slow pokes and inbreds that watch my channel, the usual suspects, the resistance, they're like, oh, Ego, please, man. I don't get it. You said Shakur and Keyshawn were hypocrites, right? Bet. So let me connect the dots for the slow people in the back. How is Keyshawn trying to front on the guy you should want to avenge 4 losses from the amateur, someone who prevented you from getting amateur gold in Andy Cruz, and you're trying to act like you don't know who he is, and him and his team, Eddie Hearn, Bozy, Andy Cruz, keep calling you out, and you act like Keyshawn, and he's acting like there's no unfinished business there. Then Shakur, he's calling Tito Marcato a clout chaser and visibly like annoyed with the line of questioning and say, I don't know that ninja. Why are we even talking about him? I don't even know who he is, blah, blah, blah. He's just looking for clout. He's looking for clout. So I put out a tweet a little while ago, you know, a couple weeks ago or whatever, and it got 500K views. It got retweeted by Gervonta Davis, and it had a lot of people with a lot of opinions on the tweet. But if you go look at the tweet, that tweet is looking real denim muff. Exactly what I said in that tweet. I said, when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis, you have a lot of people who are jealous and envious, and they want some of the attributes that Tank possesses as a fighter, right? And, you know, it's the internet. So some people agree, some people didn't. I don't care. But nobody proved me wrong. And I think the actions of Keyshawn and Shakur right here prove me all too right. It proves me all the way right, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. They are almost like prima donnas, and they look at calling out Tank, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because they feel somehow, some way, despite Tank being the A++++ side against both of them, they think they're on the level. They think they're equivalent. They think they're silver medals. It puts them on some kind of fast track to get Tank. So they have no problem calling out Tank, mentioning his name every interview, every YouTube video. The title of a Shakur interview is not ever about what he's actually doing. It's always surrounded Tank Davis. Oh, what do you think of Tank's retirement? Oh, do you want to fight Tank? Oh, what's taking so long? You know what I mean? It's all that type of stuff. But they have no problem. It's not clout chasing when they do it. But you see when Andy Cruz is attaching his name to Keyshawn, a guy rightfully so. That's a great fight. Eddie Hearn said it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight. There's a backstory. There's history. It is a great fight. Keyshawn don't like it. And he tries to front and bring up Andy Cruz minimally, if at all, and act like you don't know him. Same thing with Shakur. Shakur Stevenson, when he's being chased by an up-and-comer who's hungry, mind you, they're both with Eddie Hearn. So even if Shakur gets past Schofield, that should be a reasonable fight to make. Remember, why is Shakur saying, oh, he's at 140, right? You have the size where you can fight at 140. Remember when Shakur was talking about fighting Ryan Garcia, right? So you're down to fight Ryan Garcia. Why not Tito Marcato as a stay busy fight if he's trash, right? You guys are with the same people, but you see the hypocrisy. Shakur don't like it when somebody's with power like Tito Marcato is barking up his tree, but then he has no power and Tank has a lot of power and a lot of stature and popularity, and the no power guy Shakur, good fighter, but he doesn't really have that much power. He's looking up at the Tank totem pole, Tank at the top of the totem pole, and he don't see a problem with that. And the funny thing to me is Tito Marcato and Andy Cruz are closer to Shakur and Keyshawn than Shakur and Keyshawn are to Tank Davis in terms of, you know, having any level of leverage or say so in the matter. They're not even with the same people. Like Shakur became a free agent. He could have signed to PBC, but he went over there to Eddie Hearn in Turkey. So it's looking bad. And I told you 2025, I can't wait. it was going to get real dark for a lot of y'all that's not telling the truth. So please, in the comment section, if you a man, if you a woman, answer the questions. Don't be like, oh, ego, no, answer the questions that and the conversation that I brought up in this video. And I know you can't. Good luck.